Okay, excuse me, here we are. Oh, hi Missy, hi Barbara, hi Terry, hi Joyce, hi Anne, hi Laverne, Terry, Miriam. Hi everybody, thanks for being here. Are you guys excited for the giveaway today? I'm going to check Instagram one more time. I checked it about 10 minutes ago, but I know you guys, and you'll wait until the very last minute to let me know if you need to be on the list. Hey, Bossy Butt. Bossy Butt is on the list. Yeah, let me go. Oops. Turn the sound down. See if I got any messages. No more messages. K-Bird posted something cool. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Linda. Give Tim a hug. Hi, Tina. Hi, Regina. You're definitely excited. And I'll read everybody's name and give you a chance to correct me if I'm wrong. And I just checked my email. I have no more emails. So as of right now, I'm done. I'm not adding anybody else to the list unless you're in chat right now. So hi, Tori. I liked your art over on IG a little while ago. Hi, K-Berg. I just liked yours a minute ago. You only finished about 35. Well, I went ahead and I finished all 100. Hi, Kat. I didn't think I was going to because I just seemed like the last couple weeks I couldn't get motivated and yeah. So I thought, I'd finished over 90. I only had like 4 or 5 left. Hi, Dee Dee. But I got motivated and I finished all of them. So I'm going to read the list. Completed Scavvy right there, and I collected them from everywhere at streams, whatever. So if you think you should be on the list and you're not, you need to give me your name right away. Peggy Fitzmaurice always is number 1 on the list, always. Because she finishes it, let's see, we start the 1st of January. She contacted me on the 5th of January. I'm done. Like, did you sleep? You're supposed to sleep. You can't just work nonstop. And then Barbara, Chicken Pot Pie, the singing lady. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Barbara Clark. Hi, Kimberly. She was done on the 13th. And then Kim and Kimberly's here. She was done on the 19th. Terry Brett, 120. So you guys, some of you got it done really quick. And then some have just notified me today. I am Keeks. Hi, welcome. I don't think you've ever been to my channel before, so thank you for coming on over. And I just followed you on IG. So let me read the list. Peggy Fitzmaurice, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie, Kim Polton, Kimberly, who's here in chat. Her name is Iwans. I won't say her last name, but Terry Brett, Allison, Mama Juju, Dawn P, Miriam, Sheila, Tina Svanberg, she's also in chat right now, Charmaine Wagner-Bell, Goldie, Kathleen Deitch, that's probably wrong too, CB, Lindy, Joanne Newman, Ann Lar, Christina, Lisa Mingus, Marguerite, Sherry Habing, Sharon Lombard, Tim Rentz, Tim Finish, Chris, which is Crafty Chris, Stargazer Collage, Darlene McJanet, Raul, which he said he'd be here today. Excuse me, Miriam. I've got Miriam on here twice. Wait a minute. You can't cheat and get on here twice, can you? Okay. Miriam, you can't be here twice. Sorry. So that changes everybody's numbers. And I'll tell you what's really weird. And this just fixed it. I had a dream which is really weird. And I don't very often remember my dreams, but I dreamt that there were 36 people on the list. Is that not weird? Hi, Vol. I'll talk about the ATC trading swap in just a minute, Vol. I don't think I missed anybody else coming in. Anyway, after Miriam is Laverne, and then Bossy Butt, Devin, Zen Jen, Missy Johnson, Teresa Church, Laverne Hodges. She's on here too, twice. What the hell? So that's 34, 35. So my dream was BS. All right. There's 35 people. You're not responsible for that? Yeah. Laverne, Jeannie, Homeschool Mama 4, and Judy O. And I just checked both IG and my email. So I don't believe I've overlooked anybody. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Autumn M. Just came in. What's the giveaway? Autumn, once a year, I host a scavenger hunt that I announce on the New Year's Eve streamathon. And then I give everybody 3 months to finish it. And it's 100 prompts. And this is my scavenger hunt book. I did the cover on the New Year's Eve streamathon. And it is a record number for entries, Bossy. This year, my theme was circus. So I come up with a list of prompts, 100 prompts, and you've got 3 months to finish them. So I'll show you mine. I'll flip it right now, Dee Dee. Denise did not finish, but I feel like Denise earned some sort of reward just because she works 3 jobs and still gets excited about the Scavvy hunt. And actually, we call it Scavvy hunt now because of Denise. So, all right. So I won't tell you what prompts. Well, I can. I don't need to, but I did write down each page and the prompts that are on there. And I think the page that I crammed the most on was page 26. So when we get there, we'll look at it. Denise definitely gets honorable mention. So, for example, this first page was, let's see, put a bird on it. There's a bird. 17 is ephemera, which all of this was nothing but ephemera. 21 is butterfly. There's a little butterfly. 49 was flowers. And 58 was looking through a keyhole. And I also probably could have crammed botanicals on here. But yeah, so step right up, get ready for the circus. And then mono, I don't remember who did it, but somebody said this little monkey's name up here should be mono. Yeah. Raul, you might have told me that monkey in Spanish is el mono. El mono mono. So that's why I have mono here, because the little monkey's name is Mono. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Hi, Dorothy. Well, my keyhole does not smell as good as your keyhole, Devin, and I'm really upset about it. Devin said she did a page for hers and did the keyhole prompt, and she said, and it smells so good. I wish you could smell it, because she used the waxes. Oh, I can't think of Finnabar. The Finnabar waxes, and they smell so damn good. I won't start another until next January, but we are going to do a really cool passport swap, ATC passport swap, that I'll talk about after I finish this. So I'll just flip through my scavenger hunt book, and it's typical, obviously circus themed. And one of the prompts, let's see, this is page 3, was I counted this as my wild card page. I actually made these ATCs and sent out to some of the fibs who needed to exchange art. So it was 8 and 80. What was 80? Artist trading card. And I could have added it for a circle. It could be number 3, put a bud on it. It could be snark. In fact, I think I wrote on the back. Yeah, I actually, on this little ATC, I actually crammed 14 prompts onto it because I used a stencil, products I don't use. So, yeah. I think I actually crammed 14 on there, but I just counted it for my book as my wild card. And this was the National Day of whatever. You could have done a national page for anything. It could have been Art Nouveau. And thank you to, I believe, Joanne Newman for sending me all the awesome Art Nouveau stuff. And this was gratitude and circles and snark and emoji. I can't remember anything. I haven't. This is what I'm grateful for. Hi, CB. You're on the list. I haven't slapped people who desperately deserve it, and I'm really grateful. My eye rolling ability is unsurpassed. Duh. I've never aged out of being childish. Happy about that. I'm sexy and I know it. That I've perfected the art of sarcasm. That I can avoid socializing under extreme pressure. My ability to recognize incompetence is envy-worthy. And I'm especially grateful for amazing, talented fibs, which is all of you guys, friends in the box. So I like my gratitude page. This was my botanical page, and I don't know, I liked everything about this, but it's mostly something in glass. That's what prompted this entire page, was the girl in the, I don't know, it's either a snow globe or a, what do you call it? Where you look in and you see visions, one of those. This is my wanted dead or alive page. This was the first page I did, and I really liked it. This, obviously, I did with my granddaughter when she streamed with me that day. We did the Dr. Seuss character and told a joke. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. Oh, and my glue came off. I got to fix that right now. Right now. And a crystal ball. That's it, Devin. When you're streaming, you forget words, and they're really hard to come into your head. I forget words on stream all the time. And then my joke was, why did Dr. Seuss put a ruler under his pillow? To see how long he slept. It was really bad jokes. I tried to put a reel in my Scavvy journal, but it was too long. I'll have to break it up. Well, do it, CB. And then Devin was nice enough to send me the Dr. Seuss cards that I just went ahead and included on this page. And this was Joanne Newman art. This place is just a few clowns short of a circus. I think that was my quote page. And this was my pocket page. My friend Denise, my spirit animal, made this great big circus ticket and sent it to some of us. Dee Dee gave it away on her stream. And this is a jelly print envelope. Can't remember who I got it from, but I love it. So I put a ruler and a butterfly on it and just some other crap. Here's a swatch. And this is also my little tassel page. And this was my orange and blue page. And it's got snark on it. Surprise. I wish common sense was more common. I wish more people were fluent in silence. Out of the way, I have my sassy butt on. And who left the bag of idiots open? And it's all the little butts going into the circus. Into the butt circus. And this was, oh my gosh, this was something given to me. I think Devin sent the napkin. So it's my napkin page. There are butt balloons on here. Something cold. Yeah, that's probably all of it. So, yeah. This was a card, a greeting card from Sharon Lombard, and this is also my tags. So thank you, Sharon. I love Mary Engelbreit art, so I'm happy it's here. And then there was a page you had to do that was all about me. So, because it really is all about me. That's my initials. You guys know I love a good monkey. And the most important thing about me is that mostly I just sit around all day being fabulous. And this was another ATC I made to give out. And it's also my logo, 1-800-CRAP-RUS. Put a bird on it. There's a crown. I like every kind of art supply. And there's coffee. So that was a fun page. And I love grid paper. I don't know if you sent the napkin or not. I know you sent me something, and one of them I ruined and had to start over. So I might have had the napkin. What do I know? This was my stripe page and my emoji page and sewing. And that's probably all, but I like it. This was, the last prompt was cut out circles and expose the following page. So I did this on stream when I used sprays on napkins, I think, which was product I don't use. I don't know. But yeah, it was paper towel where I was just soaking up the extra ink. Where is the ruler on that page? On this page, that's a ruler. That's a ruler. That's a ruler. You have to look for the rulers. And somebody sent me this pen tester, so I just did that. Oops, one of my little emoji guys popped up. I'll have to glue him back on. And I can't remember. Oh, Devin sent me the cat with the crown on it too. Yeah, you sent the cat queen sticker. I know that. So the whole page actually is a couple different times in the book. And this is my found relatives page, which I turned into a circus freak show and a flag from your ancestors. So this is Iris. She choked on a hairball. This is Ear Elephant. He choked on a peanut. Cat and Paste, mauled by a mouse. This was so much fun to do. The found relatives pages are always so much fun. On the me page, did I put a ruler on there? If I didn't, Raul, I will get one on there. I don't have one on there, Raul. I will fix that. And then Jocko died in a clown car collision. And you guys helped me with all this. So this was not me. Y'all helped me with this as I was creating my found relatives. Yeah, turned it into a regular freak show, which is probably better than my real relatives. This was my pink and I don't know. Let me see. Well, I've got a list here. 2084 was a mosaic page. Blue and pink page. 87 is mushrooms. 44 is Zendangles. And 65 is rubber stamp. All the mushrooms are rubber stamp. So not very circusy, but it solved a lot of the prompts. This was looking through a window. So I just built the window. And that was just pattern paper, and I don't remember all what. This was my page of houses, which are circus bouncy houses, and I did this on stream as well. So that was fun. And I'm too old to ever have gotten to experience a bouncy house, which bums me out. Hi, Flo. You missed a great stream at Dee Dee's this morning, Flo. You have to go back and watch at least the beginning of the stream. If any of you missed Dee Dee's stream, go watch the beginning. I promise you. Artful's name is Tori. And this was, I think it was a yearbook page. And so I did the clown college. And the names are, in fact, all different famous clowns in real life. Thanks, Keeks. This was, I don't know, I just had stuff, so I made this page and I used circles on it. Sometimes I look at people and wonder, how did they fit all that stupid in one head? Don't you wonder that a lot? I wonder that a lot. And this was a monkey that Artie Dar sent me. And so I just added hearts and put snark on it. And this was something given to me. I don't know, probably didn't. 24, 25. Yeah, this would be another wild card page. Snark. I don't know. It met some of the prompts. And a lot of my prompts appear more than once. So this page, none of you guys had seen yet. This was the 2 pages that completed all my 100 prompts. And so this is a lot of them because it's got tags on it. It's got, oh my gosh, I put so many things on this one. Put a bird on it, put ephemera. 28 is string and twine. Yeah, because this is the other side of it. Here's the bingo. I put bingo on here. I put Dee Dee's butt in here. Dee Dee's butt was not a prompt, but I'm not sure why, but I just drew a picture of Dee Dee's butt and then the bird. This is on that, no, that's on tissue paper when I was experimenting with that. Put a bird on it and he's saying, I like big butts. Hi, Pam. And then this was food and a little tag in here and more string. And this was also a gift. I should write down where all this stuff comes from, you guys. I'm so bad at that. But I made a little pocket out of the tea bag. And this was Tina. This was Tina from Sweden is where that came from. And I think that was Tina from Sweden, Sloth. But anyway, this was my Draw Your Day page, which I like a lot. This actually is in one of those ephemera books that you can order from Pour Toast. And this is my real life coffee cup because you had to draw your coffee cup or something like that. This is what it sits on. And this is the chicken butt that my friend Bossy Butt sent me. So I drew it on there and his feet are really dirty. Look at how dirty his feet are, you guys. And I've washed it once, but I need to wash it again. But I really think his little feet aren't coming clean. But I'll just pretend I'm Dee Dee when I look at it. Because that stuff doesn't bother her at all. Hi, Kristen. I hope I haven't missed too many of you coming in. But that is a real life book that I was drawing out of. So this is her head and this is the rest of her body up in the book that I'm drawing out of. There's my phone. My graph gear pencil, which I love so much. There's my graph gear, my eraser, and then my workspace. So that was my Draw Your Day. So these 2 pages you guys have never seen. And this was my window envelope, which I saved that because I just, was that a chicken butt? Hi, View. Look it is a chicken butt. And the chicken's looking around going, what the hell came out? That is, in fact, a chicken butt coaster that sits on my table every day. And you know what frightens me is if this chicken could talk. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. But I like my Draw Your Day page. So, but these are the 2 pages you guys hadn't seen. And then this was a gift from Lindy. It's a photo. It's got some material on it, some lace, some sewing, a book page. So it solved a bunch of my prompts. Here's the other side of the cut a hole in the page. And then this is the decorated paper clip. And this was just something I drew. I don't know. I think it's a black background. Running away to the circus is always an option. And I don't think there's any age limit on that. I think running away to the circus is appropriate at any age. And this was also a border. I had to create a border. So this was my planner page, and it really was exactly what I did in January. And this was a page of food and veggie stickers. And you can see that I eat garbage a lot, and it's all good. Hi, Alyssa. This was the pink and orange page, and I did this one on stream, and it's also got book pages, twine, clowns. Spoiler, we are the clowns. Heads up, goofballs. And then I made all the balloons out of book paper. This was neurographic page and my hybrid animal, which turned out to be a Bertle or a tunny, because it's a rabbit with a turtle shell on it, and then neurographic art and watercolor. And this was, shoot, what was it? Neurographic art again, 86, monochromatic. So it's all different colors of purple and some doodles. And then this was my stick figures, my Facebook or my fingerprint faces. And what was Pictionary? I don't remember. But I did really good on the Pictionary because it's got the audience, it's got a trapeze, it's swinging, it's catching, and it's expressions. So, and bubble wrap. I'm not the office clown, I'm the entire circus. And that was just leftover from other stuff that I'd done that was just in the basket. And I got to clean up all my Scavvy hunt stuff. Everything's put away. It's nice and tidy. My mother hated when I used the word tidy. So that's what you're in for if you sign up for the Scavvy hunt next year. You don't have to sign up, you just participate. You either like it or you don't, and it doesn't matter to me either way. But it seems like I get feedback, and it seems like a lot of you enjoy doing it. And that really is the reason I do it. If y'all didn't enjoy it, I'd just blow it off and quit doing it. I mean, I might do something for myself, but yeah, I think you guys enjoy it. So my plan is to continue doing it. Thanks, guys. It was fun. I liked this year. I liked the circus theme, and I think the theme, you know, the last few years I've done children's books, games. I don't know what different themes I've come up with. But I think having the circus theme kept me very engaged. So I'm going to probably try to at least maintain that part of it, you know, where, at least for me, I'll probably do it like I did this year, where number one is pick your own theme. I think somebody picked cats. Yeah, Devin picked cats. That was hers. So it doesn't necessarily have to be my theme. But I think a theme engages you. And then because I had the theme and I knew I was going to be using this stuff, I didn't mind ordering like that ephemera book for stuff to use. Yeah, I think picking your own theme is great. And if you want to do toys or an animal or whatever, I think it just kind of helps direct your thinking. Did anybody in chat say that they needed to be added to the list? Because I have not been. Oh, you had Sherlock Holmes? Oh, that's a good one, Tina. Jeannie Homeschool picked cats too? Yeah, I will. I've gone through, you know, periodically and gone and looked at the hashtag scavenger hunt. So in case I missed people's pages, I could catch up. And we work on the honor system around here. If you tell me you finished it, I'm going to trust that you finished it. Vol, you want to be on the list? No, you can't be on the list. Sorry. Jeannie, I got you on the list. Oh, and Shelley picked cats too. So cats apparently was a popular theme. Okay, so I read off everybody's name who's on the list, and I thought the best way to do this, and I'm glad I read the list because I deleted 2 of you duplicate freaks. You had to do it, Vol. I'm going to pull up random.org. We're going to pick a winner. And then, at least as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with the Scavvy for another year. And it seems like No sooner have I finished it than I start creating a prompt list for next year. In fact, I think I've already started it in my notebook. Random.org, there it is. And we'll put in numbers 1 through 35. Oh, random.org is verifying that I'm human. Who wants to tell them? Okay. Apparently I passed because they gave me the go ahead. All right, so the max number is going to be 35, and we don't have to worry about duplicate numbers because I've eliminated all of them. All right, are you guys ready? You ready? Hi, Christine. All right, let's do this. Number 10, Sheila, Creative Nana. And that was at my stream. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get a hold of Sheila. Sheila, if you watch the replay of this, Creative Nana, you need to get a hold of me. Probably the best way is either on Instagram messaging, congratulations, Sheila, or my email is janetm.young@yahoo.com. Just like my name appears everywhere, except don't forget the period after M and don't put a space in. So, yay, Sheila. She's a new person. So good on you, girl. I'm happy for you. And in return, you're going to have to give me your email address so I can send you the gift. How about that? Oh, you know what? I need to go ahead and let me highlight Sheila, so I know I could always come back here and look again. But Sheila was the winner. I wish she was here today so she could be here to hear all your congratulations. But in a way, I think we all are winners because we all do it together and we all... Mama Juju, do you talk to Sheila? If you do, please tell her to get in touch with me so I can make sure she gets her gift ASAP. Do you have a list of all the winners from past Scavvies? Raul, I know you're on it one time. Rebecca Jean won 1 year. I probably do. I think hi Tina. I think I keep it in the book. So I'd have to pull all the books. And I'm not doing that, Raul. But thanks for offering. Hi, Belinda. What'd CB say? CB's all pissed off she didn't win. Did I tell you I changed my name to Sheila? So, congrats, Sheila. And thanks to everybody who participated and gave me ideas to put on the prompt list and worked on it and photographed it and put it on IG. I think we probably had more participation this year than we've ever had. And we've definitely had more completions than we've ever had. I think the first year it was like 15 or something. It was like people were overwhelmed. And there weren't that many prompts then. So, yeah, Mama Juju, if you talk to her, please let her know to get a hold of me. Do you want to say the prize? Nope. I don't ever tell the prize, Dee. Well, you know it. But yeah, I don't say it. It's a prize worth playing for. That's what I'll say. Thank you, Mama Juju. Okay, and then at Dee Dee's this morning, she announced that her and I are going to host another swap. And we'd been talking about doing like a zine swap based on my passport journal. This has been a ton of fun, and I will continue working on this throughout the year. I can get about 1 page a week done. You're welcome, Terry. Thanks for playing with us. Usually, oh, you thought I usually said, do you guys think I should say what the prize is? But anyway, yeah, we're going to do a passport ATC swap. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, make sure you use your stuff. I would love to know. Okay, what I will do for Sheila is I will, and now it's going to be out of the bag, I will email her a $50 Amazon gift card this afternoon, or as soon as she contacts me. So, and that's what Raul won last year. And that's what I do. I send you a $50 gift card for Amazon, which I think is it's worth playing for. So there you go. Okay. So anyway, and the rules of the ATC giveaway are that you submit 10, and an ATC card is a card 2.5 by 3.5 inches that you decorate. You have to choose, in my opinion, it can be anything you want. It can be a country, it can be a state, it can be a city, it could be a park in your hometown. I don't really care. And I think I have an idea for Dee Dee. We'll see if she goes along with it. Dee Dee, I will tell you later what I think your theme should be, because I think I have a really good one for you. And I think I already have what I'm going to do for mine. I generally do 2 so that I know I have ample stuff to give away. But anyway, you have to create 10 ATCs of whatever place you want. And when I say no embellishments, what I mean is nothing 3D, because Sheila, you won. Is Sheila here? Hi, Sheila. You're a winner, chicken dinner. Okay, Sheila, I'm not sure how you can get a hold of me, but you need to email me so I have your email so I can send you the gift or the giveaway, which is a $50 gift card for Amazon. So hopefully you're in the United States, but it should be good all over the world. I know it was, it worked for Raul last year. So my email, hi Ray, I'm going to put my email, write it down, so you can email me, and then you're in Kentucky. Awesome. I'm so happy for you, Sheila, and I'm so glad you came in. So yeah, this afternoon, or as soon as you get me your email, I will email you that gift. Okay? Awesome. So, but what we mean by embellishments is anything that's 3D or is going to make the envelope thick, because what we're going to do, and well, I'll show you here in a minute. It worked for you and still enjoy the goodies you purchased. That's awesome, Raul. Yeah, don't forget the dot in my email and no space after it. So I'm really getting sidetracked. You're going to be doing a state of mind. So when you finish your 9 or your 10, well, actually, if you want to keep one of them, you should make 11. Put them in an envelope, send them to me. Use that email that I just put in chat. If you don't have my address. If you have my address, I haven't moved. So it's still Monkey Island. Go ahead and send it to me. There's no need to notify me if you're going to participate. Put them all in an envelope and send it to me. Inside that envelope will be your 10 cards, a number 10 envelope, which is this size in the United States. It's called a number 10, 9.5 by 4 1/8. Self-addressed. And if you're in the States, put postage on it, enough postage to get back. A safe rule is at least 3 stamps on your outer envelope and on your inner envelope. If you are outside the United States, because y'all don't have universal postage like we do, we pick it up. So the due date for this is May 30th. I guess I better write that on here. And that means it has to be to me by May 30th. Not that you're finishing on May 30th, but that it has gone through the mail system, which means I would give it 2 weeks. Our mail system lately has been so jacked up. But then if you send in 10, I will send you 9 back. And I'm going to provide a sleeve, and I'll show you in a minute some that are already done. Your ATC is 2.5 by 3.5. Please put your names on it so that we know whose artwork we've gotten. Because just like me in the Scavvy hunt, when I get stuff, I'm so appreciative and I think I'll remember. And then in a week, I don't remember anymore. So, and yeah, it's on Dee Dee's post tab. All these instructions are on Dee Dee's post tab on her channel, and I just put it on mine. So if you go to my channel, and it used to be community tab or something like that, now it's just posts. So yeah, send it to me. I'll swap them all out and send them back to you. And we're going to limit it to 1 set only per household, because in the past I've learned if you say, oh, no, you can submit multiples, well, then that means I don't have enough art to pass out for everybody. So yeah, the United States Postal Service has been horrible lately. So I've been working on, and I'll tell you how this started. Terry Brett sent me some passport stickers, and I love them. They're right in my wheelhouse, you know. This was one of them, and it was for Jamaica. And I thought, well, I'm going to do a whole book where I go around and learn about different countries. So the first one, and I wrote them all out on these blue cards, and I just randomly pick the cards, and then I do research on that country. You'll be on your non-existent honeymoon then. Well, do your non-existent ATCs from your non-existent honeymoon in a non-existent place. And that's another thing, as far as I'm concerned, you can make up a place. You know, I'm going to do a real place. But anyway, so I do a lot of research about the place because I don't know that much about different countries. And I know that Americans are not uncommonly thought of as arrogant, you know, that it's all about America and nobody else. That's not true. I think our schools have been really remiss in not teaching us a lot about the rest of the world. And so if we want to learn, we have to go do it on our own. I mean, we might know a little bit about Germany or Russia or whatever, people who we were in wars with. But as far as knowing anything about Jamaica, I knew nothing about Jamaica. I knew it was an island country. That's it. That was about the extent of what I knew. I think it would be a great fun place to go visit. Well, Teresa, I hope you can participate. I hope you can. What'd Sheila say? I just submitted the journal I made with the prompts in a local art show. First time I've ever put my... Oh, man, Nana, that just makes me so happy. Bob Marley. Yeah, so, but I don't think Americans necessarily want to be arrogant. We just, I don't know, we've gotten a bad rap. But anyway, so the first card I picked based on the stickers that Terry Brett sent me was Jamaica. So I went out and did the research, found out that their national bird is called Dr. Bird, also known as a swallowtail hummingbird or a streamer-tail hummingbird. They have a drink called Jamaica Me Crazy. And while I was looking, I read about that there's an actual Monkey Island in Jamaica. I live on Monkey Island, also known as Palu Island off the coast of Portland Parish. Monkeys once lived on the island. No monkeys reside there now. Home away from home. So that was kind of what I had started out thinking I was going to do. And it's kind of morphed as I've changed. And when I went and looked that day, they were having actually a wedding on the beach. And there's some really great YouTube videos of people who travel to these countries. So you get to go see people's impressions as they're actively visiting there. If you do 2 birds, it will be a reference to Bob Marley's song, 3 Little Birds. Well, see, Raul, you're teaching me as I go. So the second one was Guatemala, and the Arch of Santa Catalina is a famous place there, so I drew it. Their bird was resplendent quetzal, I think. I drew the map, and there's the sticker that Terry sent me. So that's what got me going. They have active volcanoes there. Yeah, and their flower is the Manja Blanca orchid, and then this was some of their the women there do weaving, and this was actually one of the weaves that I went and saw, and I went ahead and drew that. The thing is, this was taking a lot of time to sit and not research it, but also draw it. This was Canada. I love Canada. I've spent a ton of time there. Every summer when I was growing up, we went to Canada. So I wanted to include the whole map, and then some brilliant person in chat said, well, use stick pins to locate all the different places you've been in Canada. I've not been on the eastern seaboard at all, but I've been all over Western Canada. And then their bird is the gray jay. Beaver is their animal. I think they export mushrooms. So yeah, love me some Canada. And this was I think this was in that package of stuff that Ann Lar sent me. That was from Quebec, Canada. So I went ahead and put it as a tip in. Well, then after I added one tip in, I thought, okay, move the camera back a little bit more. Are you guys not seeing, or is it me? I'm seeing it okay in mine. Sheila, I would say you could create an imaginary country if you want. The thing I like about this is they are actual places that I have to go out. And of course, I've always known that the Taj Mahal was in India. But you have to go out and find out, like one of their major exports is spices. So that's why I put that there, that's one of their exports, big deal in India. Dee Dee told me to draw the hand with the henna tattoo because they're famous for that. So I was really appreciative that Dee Dee said, do a henna tattoo. So their flower is the lotus flower. Their bird is the peacock. I drew a monkey. They get Barbara. She's got a song for everything. I didn't realize imaginary was okay. Candyland would be fun. See, that's what I think too. I don't think we should put limits on it. I want you guys to participate and enjoy what you're doing. And I think this was the first page that I actually included washi tape, because this washi tape to me just absolutely suited India so perfectly. So I just try and find things that are typical of the country. This is France. And this, I did a lot of drawing. I've got so much ephemera from France. I could have done probably 3 pages on France, but iris is one of my absolute all-time favorite flowers. Their bird, maybe it's their animal, I don't remember. I've only got the bird, but it's a chicken, a rooster. So, and then of course I had so much ephemera that I could just put everything on here. And naturally what they're famous for is the Eiffel Tower. So, and then I did go ahead and buy some additional stickers of the shape of the country with the map. And I didn't get all of them, so whatever. But yeah, you go and you find out all the famous places where tourists go. This is Mexico. I've spent a fair amount of time in Mexico, but only right down here on this border. I've been to Reynosa. I've been to Matamoros, been to, Progreso Nuevo. But usually it was just going right across the border, spending a day, eating, spending some money, and then scrambling back home. Can you do a monkey journal? All types of monkeys. Raul, I can do anything I want because I'm a big grown-up adult and I don't have anybody telling me what to do or what not to do. So So every page is just kind of a different version, but I did make up a list of ideas that you could include. What did I do? I already lost it. How could I lose things so quickly, you guys? I have no clue how I can do that. I don't know. Okay. This is like an example. You can include the country's birds, animals, flower. It doesn't even have to be real. I think you can make it up. Flour, traditional clothing. That was another thing that was really interesting. When I looked up textiles and stuff like that, I included the Mexican blankets on the Mexico page. A lot of countries are famous for their art or pottery or clay work. So that was cool. Their food, every country is known for something in their food. So that would be a good idea. Drinks, their maps. I'm a map person, so I like having the map of the place. They all naturally have their own postage or their own money. They all have a flag. And of course, on each one of mine, there's going to be a passport stamp. And if you don't want to buy the stickers, you can go on the internet and find almost all this stuff. But the thing that probably has been so much fun for me is I never in my wildest dream would have ever looked up what the Mexican bird was and then attempt to draw it. And I've done fairly good with the artwork, I think. I don't like this flower very much. Dee Dee likes it, but I don't. But I think I did really good on that bird. And I liked how it's sitting on the one of the Mexican landmarks. Thanks, Raul. And then this page, I love. And I think it's partly because I love Japan. And I got something out to work on today, too, that kind of has a Japanese thing. And naturally, Mount Fuji is a famous place in Japan. Their bird was a green pheasant, which surprised me. And it's called kiji in Japanese. There's obviously lots of temples. And I don't know, Japan just seems like such a dainty, pretty, clean place to me that I think it's a place I would love to visit. Of course, I don't speak the language, so it would be so hard for me. But the artwork is so cool there. Of course, a koi fish, and then origami. Dee Dee made me do the origami too. Dee Dee makes me do everything that I don't want to do. Not really. I love Dee Dee has great ideas. And then I did get to use some of my mother's stamps. Morocco, I knew nothing about Morocco. Absolutely nothing. So, well, I think I might have known that Casablanca was in Morocco, but all I know about Casablanca is that they shot a movie there. That was it. So I like this page. Their animal, his name is Clarence the Clarence the Cross-Eyed Lion. I really screwed up his eyes, but he still came out okay. And their bird and their flower. So, but look at that mosque there. How beautiful is that tile? And that was one thing about Morocco. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful tile work. Dee Dee can't make you buy a color box and store my art supplies on the back of my toilet. It's not for not trying, though. Yeah, and this was actually the that's washi tape. So I've been including washi tape if I had something in my stash that I thought was appropriate. I haven't bought any additional. Brazil was fun just because of the toucan. That is not their national bird, however. I just chose to draw that bird. And then, of course, everybody knows Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. One thing I learned about Brazil is there are travel warnings about it, that apparently it's not that safe. I saw a video of a guy who was down on the beach, one of the beaches, and they have gorgeous beaches there. But he was literally mugged on the beach in the daytime. And I thought, man, they've got to fix that, because I would think people would be going to Brazil like crazy because it's just so beautiful, and it's huge, and it's got the rainforest, and snakes are a big deal down there. It's the Amazon rainforest down there. So I probably could have taken better notes or put better notes in the book, but I keep all my cards. So I have all my cards, and I've been looking up artists, famous artists from every locations, kind of see what their artwork is like. Um, have you seen the maned wolf from Brazil? I have not, Raul. I probably did in my research. You know, there's only so much you can retain in your goofball head. But yeah, and then their national animal was jaguar. Malaysia. Malaysia is, I don't know, I don't think it's a typical Asian country for sure. I mean, it looks like so state of the art, and their architecture was so modern and everything. Um, but yeah, some of the famous places are the Batu Caves and this statue. And then one of their huge celebrations is the Chinese New Year, where they light up the whole sky, and it's very cool. I love the textiles from there. So a couple of times I've added that, you know, when I just think something's so pretty, it's something I would probably put in my environment to make me feel good. But again, it's, you know, beaches and mountains. Looks like a great place. Another thing I didn't know about Malaysia is that it's actually on two different islands. I would have thought it would be on one island, but it's actually on two islands. So if you live over here and you have relatives over here, you don't ever have to visit. And again, I incorporated some washi. This was Germany. Probably everything I know about Germany I learned from a girl who worked for me. We have Vase. She spoke in a German accent. I loved her. I love her to this day. Famous castle, old architecture all over Germany. Beautiful, beautiful mountains. Their bird is a black eagle. Look at him. Look at him looking at you. And their actual national flower is the cornflower. But before I went and did any of my research, and if you'd have asked me, I'd have said their national flower is Edelweiss. And I saw a video, changing subject here for a minute. I saw a video just this weekend of Julie Andrews singing Edelweiss with Maria von Trapp. And I swear to God, it brought tears to my eyes. It was so awesome. And The Sound of Music is my all-time favorite movie of any movie ever. I know there's some good movies out there. Mine is The Sound of Music. I love it so much. But anyway, that's Austria. But anyway, whatever. But I think Germany is another country where you could probably do three pages. You know, I could have done a page of clothing because their national clothing is just so beautiful and so well presented, and the hats, and I mean, there's just so many things about every country. Yeah, they were singing together. Edelweiss. It was something to see. Yeah, it did bring tears to my eyes. So, but on every page, if you haven't been looking for it, there's that sticker from Terry. And a lot of this stuff, you know, like the buildings and stuff, this came in a book that I bought, but yeah, either printing it off the internet or it's just something I have in my sticker collection. This was Iran, Persia, and I told you guys I just had a terrible time getting motivated to do this one because I guess just I have negative feelings about Iran and what they're doing right now. But, you know, it still is a place with real people. And I think I told at the time that I had a family that lived next door to us they called themselves Persian. And the most gentle, kindest people you ever could meet. So sometimes I think you have to overlook a country's government and remember that there are people just like you and I that live there who are just trying to live the best life they can. But about Iran, you know, I was learning about the cypress trees and stuff like that. I thought Iran was one great big desert. It's not. It's mountainous. It's yeah, beautiful, and they have beautiful mosques. So good on them. But yeah, I never could feel really good about that. And then of course they're famous and always have been since I was a child for their Persian rugs. So I went ahead and did the big printing of the rug because their rugs are absolutely gorgeous. This was Taiwan. I don't know. I think I've shown this before. Um, Taiwan is in some really in a difficult position right now with China acting like they're gonna try and take it over. But it also is just so colorful and so beautiful. And look at the city. I mean, it's obviously very modern. So yeah, I'm sure the people there are just doing the best they can. But their waterways are gorgeous. It's mountainous. It's, you know, they're have big festivals. And I did keep the picture. And a lot of times I do tip-ins because I have additional ephemera that I want to add. But I would love to see this in real life, the Lantern Festival. And I think they do this year round. I don't think it's necessarily for the Chinese New Year, that they have lantern festivals for a lot of different things. The black bear, yeah, look at him down there, just looking at you. What you looking at, stranger? And then this is the last page I've done that you guys haven't seen yet. This is Costa Rica. Didn't know much about Costa Rica other than it is a country in South America. I mean, that literally was my knowledge. So I had to go and look into it. You know, what do they export? What do they grow? What do they are a huge exporter of coffee. And I liked this, so I did print this off the computer. There was a bunch of different coffee things, and this kind of suited me, so I like it. They do have beautiful blue butterflies down there, so I cut that out of a sticker book. Their animal is the two-toed and three-toed sloth, and I am a sloth lover. Ask Zandra. I love sloths, so I was really happy to draw the sloth. And they have a saying down there called Pura Vida, which means pure life or simple life. And they use that like Hawaiians use Mahala. So Pura Vida means pure life or simple life, but that's how they greet and say farewell to one another. I did always want a sloth. I would have one if I could. But yeah, he came out pretty good. His little eyeballs really poke out at you, don't they? And I picked the wrong color pen when I was working on him. I don't know. I wasn't tired, but his eyes initially were purple, you guys. But I did think I darkened him up okay. And I like the little bird up here, the clay-colored thrush. The one that I picked to draw really did look this fat. I mean, it was a fat little guy. So I drew the fat one because he was so cute. And then their flower, not uncommon for countries close to the equator to have orchids as their flower. So, and I had the washi in my stash, and I just like this because I like the color. But look at how cool and distressed it is. I don't remember having that, but yeah. So it doesn't take a lot of, because I didn't have a lot of ephemera for this, but it doesn't take a lot of stuff to create a cool page. You know what, Shelly? I don't have to get a kitty today because my brother's bringing his dog over, so I get to babysit his dog for a week. And Smidgy is just a little puppy. So yeah, I'm gonna have a friend for the next week. Little Smidget's gonna be here hanging with me. So hopefully this will get you motivated to want to look into a country, whether it's, you know, a place that your ancestors came from, someplace you want to visit, something you create out of your head. I think there's a lot you could do with it. You could pick 9 different countries and just draw their national flowers. You'll know more than you knew today. And as we get older, we need to learn more because we're all getting dumber as we grow old. That's just my opinion. And Raul, just so you know, when I went and picked the card of what country I'm doing next, Spain. So, Raul, I'm doing Spain. And I've already started some of the research. 48.37 million people. So that's what I'll be doing next. Yeah, I do about 1 page a week, Cakes. And some weeks I try and save it toward the end of the week, Thursday and Friday, because usually by then I've got most of my regular chores around my house done and stuff like that. So I can have like 2 days in a row so I can work on it. If I do it a minute here and a minute there, I don't retain what I'm learning. And then I have to start from scratch again. Rafael Nadal is my favorite Spaniard. I'll have to write that down, Kat. Let me put it on the Spain card and I'll look it up. I didn't even know we were supposed to have a favorite. Cat? Nadal. Okay. I will look him up. But yeah, Spain, I think, is a very unique and interesting and fun country. You did India and Brazil, India, Germany, granddad, birthright country, India, other granddad, and Spain, my home country now. Well, Raul, I just made this whole journal all about your life, haven't I? He's a famous tennis Spanish star. Okay, see, I didn't know that. Tomato and bull running. Now, see, we know about the bull running over here, Raul. Okay, and one of the best things I bought to help me with that particular, that journal was this global travel sticker book. In the back you get, and I'm going to do Australia. CB and I got to go on a tour of this, and we stayed in a hotel about a block away from this. So we saw that a lot, and we took boats by it all the time. But I am going to do a Australia page. But you get some scrapbook paper in the back, and then you get a bunch of pages of countries. So a lot of the ephemera that you just saw in that journal actually came out of this. And the pages that I've done, I've torn the pages out. So there are pages that are missing out of here. I like the Egypt page. So, yeah. So there you go. It's a great sticker book. And it's washi paper. So, yeah. And then let me show you, while we're talking about the ATC swap, Dee Dee pulled out her ATCs. And I used to keep mine in a notebook, but finally the notebook got too cumbersome and ridiculous. So this is how I keep all my ATCs. They're in a box that I can put on a shelf and keep them clean. And so let me just pull one out. But this is how you're going to get your ATCs sent back to you. And I can show as many of these as I want. I don't know. This was probably a swap that we did. Monkeys. I don't know. Let me see if... Okay, I don't know if one person did this entire page. K-Berg. K-Berg did this. Let me see if they're all K-Berg. Because this could have been like a pocket letter. Yeah, this whole thing. Kathy, I pulled yours out just randomly. So when you submit yours, all different, whatever. Does this look familiar, Kathy? this is how they'll come back to you. I will supply the sleeve that they all fit right into, but there'll be 9 different pieces of art from 9 different fibs. So, and I don't know what that particular swap or whatever was about. And these might be pocket letters. These kind of look like pocket letters, don't they? Yep. These are, look at sock monkeys. Oh, that's the back. This is from Z. Look at, I love her mulberry paper monkeys. This should not be sitting in a box. So yeah, so when you pulled them out, we're not doing pocket letters, but when you pulled the thing out, there's a little monkey in there. Yep, these were the pocket letters swap that we did. But in this case, it's going to be the passport journal. So, how much fun is that? And this is APG Jamie. So how cool is that? So that's what y'all are going to get back. And please, please put your name on them. Yeah. Oh, I was going to, where did I put the, all right. Do you guys have any questions about, see, that fits perfect in a number 10 envelope. And probably 3 stamps will be, these are thicker than you're going to get back. But 3 stamps should be ample for that. Your husband's crew painted the Georgia Aquarium. Cool. In the Tulsa Aquarium, all the seashells that appear in it are my mother. Well, I'm not sure if it's all of them, but we donated my mother's shell collection to the aquarium in Tulsa because my mother was a shell collecting hoarder freak. So any questions about it? I'm going to do some backgrounds and kind of give you some ideas of how to start your ATCs. Let me put this out of the way because I'm going to fall over it sure as anything. So use what you've got. Use your washi tape. You can use stickers, but I think when we were talking about that, Dee Dee and I, build your stickers into your piece of art, I guess is what we were saying. Not that you couldn't use them, but just that you, yeah, build them into your piece of art. And I did get out, I'm going to start. I got out some, and I don't know if I'm going to use these or not, but I'm just going to give you some ideas. I got out my spray box. And the box should catch any overspray that I have. And then I grabbed just some different sprays that I have. I'm going to start with the distress ink, I think. I need to get out of baby wipes so I can wipe their little noses. The Denver Aquarium. I don't even know if Denver had an aquarium when I lived there. I moved out of Denver. Well, I bought my house here not quite 30 years ago. I bought it in, I think it was November. I looked at it and decided to buy it in October. And I think we closed in December. And then we moved down here the following October. It was vacant for a year. So I've almost lived in Oklahoma 30 years. That seems absolutely impossible. Impossible. I'm telling you. And I'm just going to grab I should have brought a bowl of water or something over here because I'm going to create a flippin' mess. Let's use this one. It's pretty. All right. I'm using Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Spray. I don't use my sprays near enough, you guys. All right. Hang on just a second. Move that. Set that down there. Get the little desk journal out. I'm going to move the spray box for just a minute. Let that sit and dry. All right, I can wash the rest of it later. So that's what I'll start with. I think another thing I'll do is go ahead and just the cool thing about the Distress Oxide, and when you guys use your sprays, be sure and wipe them. The other day I was having a fit over at Devon's. She was using hers and she wasn't wiping their little nose, and I thought, oh, Devon, wipe their nose. She didn't listen to me. All right, brown would virtually go with any country, so I'll just pick a nice complementary color to go with it. Because I don't know that I'm going to work on top of these, but I might, you know. This one is the Fossilized Amber. Oh, see, this one needs to be clean now. There we go. Wipe it, wipe it. You were born across the street and have lived there for 59 years. Wow, Angie. I know, Devin, I was sitting in chat just going, wipe their nose, Devin, wipe their nose. You might have done it before you put them away, but you weren't doing it as you go, and I was getting really nervous. Sometimes I have to leave chat because I'm so nervous. Okay, the cool thing about the Distress inks, all of them, and I'll probably work some more on this. Maybe I should wait on this. I think I will. I think I'll wait. I'll leave the water out here to remind myself. But I'm going to do one more background, and then I'll come back and work on that. Let's do a brighter colored one now. And use the Eyes inks. They're Seth After inks. Let's see. I naturally have some little swatches so I can choose a color. His inks are vibrant, really, really vibrant. I think I'm going to do the 2 greens. Spring green and emerald green. Looking, looking, looking. There's one of them. I do like the Seth After inks. I don't use them enough is the problem. Where's the other green? There it is. All right. You've moved a lot. I was born in Lakewood, Colorado. Well, I was born in downtown Denver. Lived most of my life, well, not most, but in Lakewood, which is right outside Denver, suburb of Denver. And then when I moved from there, I moved 2 different locations there. And then I moved to Broomfield. And then I moved to Boulder. And then from Boulder, I moved to Oklahoma. So, yeah. And poor Dee Dee, she was in the military. She lived everywhere. All right, here's the stencils I have to choose from. And a lot of these have never been used. I kind of like that one. That's a funky one for sprays. And I don't know what I'm going to do on top of these. So it's just really getting a base down. Kind of like that one. And I don't really want anything geometrical. Circles are always good. You almost can't go wrong with circles. Ugh. Here's some trees. And I do have bigger stencils. I just didn't want to get a bunch of junk out. Now that one's kind of weird because you get a bunch of different shapes. Let's use that one because it's so abstract. You have this set of stencils? Yeah, they're on Amazon. I generally use these smaller stencils that I keep right here by me in the Beast with a brush and ink, and I may end up doing some of that on here too, and I can't get them back in the package. That's frustrating. Sorry for the unfocused mess going on over there. Okay, we'll use the lighter of the 2 Seth After called Eyes Inks. And I kind of think these are permanent. CB probably knows. CB, I think these inks are permanent. So you can work on top of them. And not have to worry. Okay, that's cool. And keep in mind, when you're doing on ATC, and I'll show you guys in a minute, how you can get 10 ATCs out of an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. Let me get the desk journal out. That dried fairly quickly. And I haven't been working in this little journal much, but I got it out to tell myself that I want to. You've used a lot when it's dripping off like that. You don't have any? CB, I thought for sure you'd have Seth After inks. There's some spottage. They'll be fun to work on top of, though. And then So you never know when those will turn up again. All right, now I'm going to use another stencil. Wipe his little nose. Looks like snot. Awesome. See, you thought that would make me gross out, but being the 12-year-old boy that I am, ain't nothing wrong with snot. Little ink on a mouse will freak me out, but not snot on the page. All right, let's grab the, I think I'm going to grab the circle one. I couldn't get back in the package. Yeah, I think we'll do this one with the darker. So it's going to end up a lot darker. You didn't think that, Angie? Okay, where did I put my glue page? It's right here. Okay, I'm going to really try. Okay, cool. That's the problem with playing with sprays on stream. There's a hair stuck to that. Ugh. I had to use the same page because it wasn't completely dry yet. I think I will use this page. Okay, I was right. The set after inks, which is unusual for inks, spray inks, they are permanent. After you spray them and let them set up, they're not going to move. So that's a good thing to know if you're going to be working with them. Because most of your other inks, your Dilutions inks, the Distress inks, none of them are permanent. They're going to change and move as you work with them. And I think that was why I ended up buying the Seth After inks, because I like permanent products. Focus, you freak. All right, let me wipe his little nose. Oh, baby wipe on the floor. All right, I might use more inks later, but we'll let those dry. And in the interim, this one dried really quickly. One thing I like about the Distress inks, and I'm not here to sell Distress inks for Tim Holtz, believe me, but when you spray water on them, they truly do look distressed. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of water here and there and let them go ahead and distress a little bit. How are you going to get that off your stencil? Oh, it'll come off the stencils. The stencils aren't absorbent. So that's the difference. With paper, the ink absorbs in it. With the stencils, the ink is just sitting on top of it. So as soon as I get it on underwater, most of it's going to wash right off. The problem you have with stencils is they stain. But I don't know that there's much you can do about that. Yeah, the Focus You Freak. That's a little Bob Ross. Distressed. Tim Holtz has a lot of distressed products. They're oh, how do you say it? They're alterable, I guess is one way of putting it. Let me show you. Well, I'll pull the camera down a little bit. But you can see when I sprayed it, you can see the spray, and it's kind of a darker brown. And then I just now sprayed some water on top of it, and you can see where the water drops hit. That's where it's become distressed. And I think it's white pigment ink that he's mixed in. I could be wrong, but it makes it look old and worn. So, you know, because things don't age evenly. And there's another place up there. There, I'll distress that whole area right there. And it's mixing water with it that makes it get distressed. And then it makes it look old and vintagey. And yeah. So if you're curious about that stuff, Tim Holtz, and I'm sure he still has them, search for his videos. And when he released the line of products, he did a bunch of videos showing you how his products can be used. I'm going to hit this with a heat gun real quick. I like this brown one for some crazy, crazy reason. Heat gun fell. This won't take but a minute. It dries pretty quick. Okay. All right, where did I put I did have to order new blades for my cutter today. Let me show you guys how to cut. Now, people in Europe or other places in the world have different standard size sheets of paper, but in the United States, and you'll have to look up in your own area, but if you want to get 10 ATCs out of an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet, I have no room. Cut 2 strips the lengthwise way, 2.5 inches. So that's my first strip. There's my second strip, 2.5 inches. And then you've got the piece that's left is 3.5 inches this way. So then just cut, I don't know if it's 2 or 3. I think it's 3. Cut these 2.5 inch this way, and you have almost no waste. So I didn't know how many of you knew that. So you can get 10 individual ATCs out of one 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. Awesome, right? Brilliant what you learn over here. I swear to God. Okay, you can get 4 out of that 3.5 inch piece. And then on your 2.5 inch strips, cut them into 3.5 the other way. Sure is nice to have a new blade in that. Man, I was ripping those pages. I don't very often use this cutter because it's, I mean, they tried, but it's just not really that accurate. Oh, thanks, Tina. Tina went and got the demo playlist for the Tim Holtz distress products. I don't even know how big they are anymore. But when they came out, man, they were big. And they came in sprays. You could get stamp pads. But yeah, they were big. And I actually really like the products. And I don't have that much Tim Holtz stuff, but I do like his distress products. All right. So did you see that? I need to go, but hope you guys have a great day. Thanks, Keeks. Go have a great day. I like that name, Keeks. It's fun to say. All right, so here's your 10 cards. So that's how many you have to send in. That's it. All right, let's, because the other one I was going to do, okay, let me show you. Another cool thing that I found just digging around. Let me get another piece of cardstock. And I won't. All right, this one's still drying. And I'll do this one next so that it can be drying while I mess around with the other stuff. I have this napkin. And I already took the back off it apparently. Oh, and it's big enough to do the whole sheet. Awesome. All right, so let me cut this just a little bit larger. Well, you know what? No, I'll just cut it at the 8. A little bit larger than the 8.5 by 11 inch. Because I thought this napkin would be great if Japan was your country that you were going to work on. Doesn't that look like cherry blossoms? So let's, looks like there's still a backer on this. I think there is. Let me check. Most of my napkins, I went ahead and took the backing off. Okay, there is one layer of backing on here. And this napkin might have been given to me too, because I just found it in my stash and I thought, oh, that looks so much like Japan. Okay, bye, Tina. Enjoy your nap. You've had a busy, busy day. But doesn't this look like Japan to you guys? And then I have all that cool ephemera that Kathy Berg sent me. And we'll try and figure out what we can use on top of it. But if you're not sure where to start, this is a great way to start for whether it's a journal page, you know, what do they call it? One of those, memory board or whatever they call it, vision board or whatever. Oops, I need to get something down to catch the overflow, or I'm going to be really, really mad at myself. There we go. All right. And I already got my brush dirty by trying to move that little bit of ink there. So I might end up with some funky colors under this napkin, which is fine, you know. I can't get freaked out about stuff like that. But this layer of matte medium will seal that. So that's awesome. Sweet. Sweet. I need to add some more matte medium. You might be a little gentle if you're gluing down napkins, because I have ripped them just by going over them too much or pressing too hard. So be a little bit careful. And after I get this glued down, it'll have a nice coating. So anything I do on top, I can wipe off. I can do whatever I need to do on it. So, all right, let me go ahead and peel back to there. And I probably will end up making 2 sets to give away. So I make sure I have plenty. And Dee Dee's always really good about sending in extras too. So I have plenty of art to trade out, you know, which is awesome. But it's fun to do an ATC swap because you get art from fibs that you might not otherwise ever exchange art with. So, and we have some really, really amazing artists. So, yeah, it's fun to get their art. And don't feel intimidated, you guys. I think I stress this over and over and over again to new fibs or even fibs that have been around for a long, long time that think, oh, I can't submit my art. It's not going to be good as somebody. I'll use Dee Dee as an example because we all obviously admire her artistic abilities. You know, oh, mine's not as good as Dee Dee's, or it's not as good as CB's, or it's CB is another amazing artist, and she commonly participates in our trades. Please don't ever feel that. I mean, I think we all recognize that we're all at a different place in this art journey. And I like to see where each of us are kind of at, you know. Terry Brett, I think, is such an amazing example of somebody who has put their neck out, stuck her neck out, showing her artwork. And my gosh, has it paid off? Like, you can see Terry grow right before your very eyes. And the reason I believe is because she's willing to put herself out there and let us all look at her art and give her feedback. And that makes you want to do it more, and it makes you want to do it better. So please don't ever, ever feel like, oh, I can't participate with them. They're too good. No, they're not. We're all the same kind of people. We all started out somewhere. So if you ever want to get better at something, put yourself out there. It's what you got to do. Am I done lecturing? What else do you guys want to lecture on? What else do you need a lecture on? It is, Kathy. It's amazing. And I would even say, you know, like you and Colleen, I've watched you guys for years and years and years. And the style of art you do now is different than where you were when you started. You know, obviously, you know, you have maybe more product to work with, or your abilities have improved. Your style has changed. Different things that you like have changed. You know, yeah, I think we all watch ourselves kind of morph, you know, through the years. So 13 of you staying at an Airbnb. Woohoo, that ought to be cray. I would never put my house on Airbnb. I've seen some examples of how people leave them. Oh my God. I wouldn't let those people in to use my bathroom if they knocked on my door. So this will be a background. I'm excited about this one. Let me hit it with a heat gun before I move it real quick. But this to me just screams Japan with the cherry blossoms. See, I agree, Kathy, that I've gotten better. I'm willing to try more stuff. I've bought more stuff, obviously, just from watching other streamers, other artists, people who inspired me. I would have never done crack art if I hadn't been on IG. So please put yourself out there. None of us are ever going to be harsh with you, ever. I promise you. I've never seen one person in this community be harsh with another artist, ever. Well, I'm harsh, but usually it's because people are stupid, not because they can't art. But I'm the only one. There's where that ink was. That doesn't bother me. All right, well, this one's going ahead and drying up. I hate to set it around because I know it'll just transfer. Okay, in my pile of stuff that I keep for the passport journal, and I showed this last week, but we're going to go through it again because Kathy Berg was awesome to send me this whole bag of Japanese ephemera. So let's look through and keeping, I'll put this, see if there's anything in here we can use. I want to. I love this so much. I will be recreating the face of this card. That's the envelope. Got some Japanese writing paper. I probably will be using some of that. I don't know if it'll be this sheet or some of the other, because this is like rice paper stuff. I love it. Is it two-sided? Yeah, it is. So I don't know if I want to use that two-sided. But see, if I could get 2.5 and 3.5 inches out of this, I could turn this into just an ATC. Yeah, Kathy, that's what I was thinking. Oh, I'm going to use some of Kathy's stuff. I've been itching to use it since I got it. One of these, I'm going to put that aside because I like the gold. I like that. I love this. But even if I just, like cut part of this and use part of it, I could do that. Playing card. The art. I love you guys if I'm willing to share this stuff with you. Oh, I like that too. Ooh. All right, I'm separating some of it out. And I don't have to use that whole thing. I could tear this and just use a piece of it, right? But then it's so cool, I almost think, oh, I don't know if I want to tear it up and use it. Napkin, that I actually want to get that. Oh, this is perfect paper here for it. All right, for an ATC, just size-wise, this, I definitely will cut this out. This size of pipe is perfect because I can just tear a piece out, glue it on. So that will definitely get used just because size dictates. This would be okay too. I can put that aside. These I have to save because I'm going to be rich. Okay, this piece, this is origami paper, I'm almost sure. But this I'm going to put out because I think I can just cut some of those fans out, even though I'm not a fussy cutting loving person. And then let's see what's, oh, this is nice too. I like this because it's kind of distressed. Look at this. Oh, it's so awesome. I think I'll use the book page because this page could be used as a background for something. I'll check my messages in just a minute if that's you, Dee Dee. Oh, it's also nice. And look at these. These could just be an ATC by themselves, but that would be cheating. All right, no, I'm going to use the paper that I picked out. And maybe one of those fans. I'm so glad I get to use this. Awesome. Another thing, okay. This is actually Post-it note paper, but I might end up using that. What did I do with my cool envelope that this came out of? Why do I lose stuff so easy when I'm streaming? Right, Sherry? I know. You guys are so awesome and so generous. Can't say enough good things about you. Greta Happy Me. Greta, she's a typo lady. All right. I really want this one to dry. Okay, I'm going to hit it with the heat gun again real quick. Set it aside. Yeah. And I'll work on the brown while it finishes drying because I can't cut it right now. I guess I could go ahead. Yeah, because I'm just going to have to get it wet with more matte medium. And while I've got the brush and everything all ready dirty. All right. I might have to get another sheet of this out, but I'm not going to use a huge amount on each one. I'm just tearing the little bit of the borders off here. Oh my God. I like the ones where you can definitely tell that it's you know, the type of writing where you're not using a magnifying glass to see it. And the nice thing about doing like a big sheet like this and then cutting it up is you don't know what you're going to end up with. You just sit there and be entertained, bossy butt. Nobody can tell you what to do. I love using stuff that you guys gave me. And even if I don't use all these pieces here, I will throw the remaining into that box that I keep of just miscellaneous ephemera. So when I make another box of any kind, whether it's a zine box or an organizer box or something like that, that, yeah, I won't waste any of it. And then someday when Jamie comes in here to clean this place out after I'm long gone, he'll just throw it in the dumpster for me. I'm sure of that. No doubt in my mind that he will dumpsterize all my hoard. And I talk to him about it. I tell him, don't you feel bad when you're dumpsterizing my stuff. It's all good. Oh, that's my phone just reminding me that I have messages that I haven't looked at. Woot woot. Hang on, let me. All right. Oops. I had let this paintbrush soak in water, and now it doesn't stay together. Dumpsterification. That's what I'm talking about. And he knows I'm good with that. Absolutely fine with it. All right. Because I'm going to be using matte medium, I am going to, where is it? There it is. This place is going to be an absolute mess when I'm done. And I'm distressing this, but this is so lily white. I am going to distress the background with a little bit of brown. I'll leave some of the white. And I'm not going to get these done, so these probably will get used in the swap, so you'll have to participate to see how they end up. I may or may not show them next week. And I won't put them on IG. But now that the scavenger hunt is over, I might go through and post some of my scavenger hunt pages, but I did not post any of my own. And the reason I don't post my own is I don't want to influence other people's approach to it. I want you to come up with your own ideas, whatever. So, but now that scavenger hunt's over, I won't mind posting a few of my own. I won't post the whole book. I'll just pick out, well, my wanted poster, I'll definitely put that on there. I think what I'll do. One of the things I like about napkins is they get the wrinklage. And I do like that. Do a video flip? Oh my God, that sounds like such a hassle, Kathy. If you want a video flip, look at this video. And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, what are you doing? Believe me, it'll all work out in the end. If you've done any of this for any length of time, you know that there's a point in your art where it's just ugly and you just want to go, oh my gosh, this belongs in the garbage. But if you just keep after it, there's also a point in the whole process where you just go, how did that come out so cool? It looked like crap about 5 minutes ago. Just work through the uglies. And don't have any preconceived ideas. And this pad that I'm using is, the ink pad is archival, so it's permanent. So I can put it down here and work on top of it, and it's not gonna move. It's not gonna do anything. Yeah, you gotta work through the ugly. You just have to work through the ugly. And now I'm just gonna randomly, in some of these blank places, I have no room. I have no room. Let me see if I don't have something I can put the matte medium on and not make an absolute, utter, complete mess of my whole life. That'll work. That'll work. Let's see if the bumblebee can be lighting right on that. I don't even know if this writing is Japanese, you guys. So I might be mixing up my country of origin. But you know what? I don't really care. It's all good over here. And I'm not being too particular about up or down either, because probably when I get it all cut out at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to tell top from bottom anyway. So, yeah. Just really kind of filling in some of the empty spaces. And who knows, maybe when I'm done, it'll be my favorite thing I've ever made. You know what I mean? Because remember, you're working 2.5 by 3.5, pretty small space. It could be from anywhere. Yeah, see, that's just it. And who knows, by the time I'm done, who knows if you're even going to see any of it. That's another thing. When you're doing stuff like this, the more layers you put on, half of this stuff could be obliterated. Never even know it's there. I'm hoping pieces of it will be hanging out, but who knows, really. And because I've inked these pages that I put down here, I will be inking the edge of the cards after I'm all done with it. So there won't be one edge that's not inked, in case you're wondering. I wish I had a whole bunch of little people faces or something. One thing you could do, and this would not be cheating in my opinion, is if I decided, and CB does the most amazing faces, girl faces, Asian faces. I mean, they're just amazing. I don't think it would be cheating if I found an Asian face that I wanted to use multiple times, that I cut it out of something and then went ahead and made photocopies of it. So don't think that when Dee Dee said they have to be all original, I think if you used a photocopied element, that would definitely not be cheating, because one of my ideas would make me draw. I'm going to draw part of it. Well, maybe all of it. I don't know yet. But I'm not going to draw the exact same thing 10 times. So what I'll do is I'll do a pen and ink drawing. I'll photocopy it and then finish on top of that photocopy. So the coloring or whatever I decide to do on top of it would be original. So that's what we mean. What we're saying is don't finish your art and then photocopy it 10 times. But if I'm going to draw something for mine, I'm not going to draw the same thing 10 times. I'll draw it once, photocopy it, and then use it 10 times. Got it? Yes, paper's coming in really useful, Kathy. Thank you so much. What did I do with my little finger dauber dude? There it is. Boy, am I going to need a bath. Can you guys hear the helicopter? Sounds like it's right above my head. We're in the flight path of a medical helicopter. So I hear helicopters a lot. Oh, I have a bunch of them, Joanne. It's a dauber? Yeah, I have a bunch of them. I bought a huge pack when I bought them last, so this one's still working, so why do I want to dig in and get out my other ones? That would seem crazy to me. But you're right, I do need a new dauber. My black one is just as bad. Probably used it for 2 years or longer. Still working, still hanging in there with me. Come on. Come on, come on. You can see the little bumblebees in the little background. Okay, what else can you think of that is reminiscent of Asian culture, Japanese culture? I automatically think of Japan when I see a cherry blossom. Geisha, obviously, a geisha girl. I guess now, since I've been working on the passport journal, when I see the lanterns, I automatically think of Asian culture. Chopsticks would be another thing that you would think of. I'm just trying to think what other elements I could add on here. Reminiscent of whatever culture I'm working on. So speak up if you want to. That one's huge. Huge. I want just a piece of this. And if you guys think, oh, this takes so long, you know, I think to do art that you really love and are proud of, you have to take the time that it takes. And sometimes I do it on stream and I feel a little nervous, you know, that, oh, this got to be so boring for these guys. But what I'm really trying to show you is how to build up the layers to end up with a product that you're going to love and be proud to share with the rest of the fibs. That's, I guess, the whole point of this. And I know I'm off camera down here. Let's see, that's going to be 2.5, 2.5. Okay, I think I'll put this one down here, and then I've got to go work on that other end down there. I've got a blank space down there. I'm just trying to include, you know, where I think the cuts are going to be, that each piece gets at least a fragment. I'll use some of the little tiny print. I need a smaller piece though. I'd be so dirty. And then my little buddy Smidgey's coming to hang out with me for a week. That little dog. Last time it was here, my brother's dog. My brother's bringing his dog over to hang out with Robert and I this week. We're going to babysit because they're going to Denver. And son's having surgery, in case you want to send up a prayer for him. Anyway, little Smidgey is a very spoiled little dog, cute as it can be, absolutely flipping adorable. But last time Smidgey stayed with me, he'd never stayed here before. I mean, he obviously knew me from my brother's house, but he had never been over here. Pagodas, that's a good one, Dee Dee. But he had never been over here to stay. And so he was a little freaked out when his dad left him and drove off. And he didn't eat very much for like 2 days. And I was starting to get just a wee bit freaked out, maybe more than a wee bit freaked out. I was really freaked out. And I called my brother and I said, Don, I'm getting worried about Smidge. Hadn't eaten, you know, like, or she just nibbles here and there, but she's not eating enough to sustain life. Oh, Merle, I forgot to tell you. Smidgey likes you to cook her some eggs. So honest to God, I'm standing at the stove cooking eggs for this damn dog. I can't believe it. But when Dawn called to ask me if I would babysit Smidge again, when I went to the grocery store, I made sure I had plenty of eggs so that when Smidgey's here, I can cook her eggs in the morning. Said, fix her some eggs, she'll eat. I was like, God damn it. If you'd have told me that, I'm not sure I would have been going, yeah, bring the dog on over. I don't even cook Robert eggs every day. But I cook Smidgey eggs. And I'll do it again. No, after I got her eating, Raoul, she went ahead and started eating. her kibble or whatever food they brought over. And one good thing is they brought her tons of treats. So we had tons of treats to share. Spoiled dog. Spoiled dog. And that's fine. Spoiled dog, spoiled kids, spoiled everybody. Who cares? All right. That one may not down there. All right. I think I will. I think every piece should have at least some small amount of the text. Yeah, I think so. This is the only place down here that maybe I'm lacking some. And as goofy as it looks, just wait and see. If it turns out like crap, I'm not going to show you anyway. And at the end, if I want to, Robert gets a smidge, yeah, right. Robert can have smidges leftovers. That's about how bad it is. Poor Robert. I'm going to save this because I can always go back and add later. But if I wanted to at the end, when I'm all done with this, if it turns out that I want to tie it all together, because now that I've put the brown in the background, I could add a little bit of the distress ink in a bottle, which I have, and dye the, and you could use really any product to do this with. Go ahead and dye the matte medium, paint it over the whole thing, and it will just mesh it all together. It looks like you didn't collage anything at all. Bowl eat 4 or 5 eggs at a time and cooks another couple for Abby and Ryder. They adore him. Yeah, see, Robert can also eat 6 eggs at a sitting. He really can. This I'm going to save out and probably use it in little places around the card, but I saved these out too. So this is the rice paper, and I don't know how well it's going to tear. Let's see. Rice paper doesn't always tear that great, so. And I'm going to tear it in small pieces so I can spread it out more. I'm trying to tear it in small pieces. My hands are all covered in matte medium. I do not like a straight edge though, so I will tear that off, trash it. That I'll make go off an edge, so not that big a deal. Another thing you can do to tie it all together, now these will get separated so you won't see more than the one you get, but another thing you could do to kind of tie it all together is to do some paint splatters, to do some of the circle art in ink. But to tie it all together, the brown matte medium is probably the best technique I've come up with. Okay, let's put this here and there. This definitely is rice paper. You know what I keep forgetting that I have? When we were in Australia, we went to Daiso, and I bought a bunch of rice paper that I could probably stamp on some of my mother's Asian stamps. Oh, I just remembered. I'll get it out. See how it just melds into the background. You won't even notice that probably when it's all done. Just as another layer of interest is all. And the rice paper is so absorbent. I don't have to put it on back and front. It just slaps right down, just easy as pie. But yeah, I made sure I had plenty of eggs for Smidgey's visit. So tonight when I'm sitting watching TV, I'll have a little buddy sitting on my lap. Well, he'll probably be sitting on Robert's lap until Robert goes to bed and then move over to me, but that's fine. It's fun for us because we don't have animals around here, and I keep going back and forth about whether or not I want to even get an animal. I just don't think it's fair to like get a little puppy when, you know, after you're a certain age, because I don't want the pet to outlive me, you know? I don't think that's fair to the pet. So, yeah. Probably if we were going to get a pet, I would have gotten one immediately when I had Roxy put down. I really don't want to cover up much of the cherry blossom. All right. Yeah, those are the straight edges that I don't want. Those I'm going to have to wait until I'm more done. All right. I've got the matte medium out, so let me go ahead and just paint over this, use it up. I'm not going to pour more out. I'll just use up what's here. Let me look in my Asian drawer. I don't think, maybe it is Asian. I'll have to see what the actual drawer says. But I know it's where I keep the Asian lady stamps. But while I was sitting here working, I got thinking, is Devin taking off? Bye, Devin. Go take care of Mom. Give her a hug. I don't want my art to outlive me. That's why I don't mind to use any material. That's actually pretty smart, Miriam. You know, use what you've got, because I know for a fact, other than what Jamie's girlfriend may glom onto, Jamie won't keep any of this crap. Yeah, I have an Asian Indian. They're kind of big. Oh, I've got the perfect thing, you guys. Oh, wait till you see this. Let me move this. Thanks to my mother, I have a whole drawer of Asian and Indian stampage. Let me get over here to the Asian side. I think this lady might be perfect for that background. But here's some lotus. I've got some eucalyptus. Is that eucalyptus? My mother was such a weird lady. Lanterns. And I have washi sticker paper I could do it with. Here's some, I'm sure this is Japanese. Longevity, prosperity, and double happiness. That's obviously too big, but these would be more than adequate. Bamboo, you're right. Thank you, Miriam. There's a fan, and then there's just some little ephemeras down there. There's a cherry blossom. Yeah, baby. Why is that one sitting funny? Okay, I don't know why. But look at this Asian lady face. Oh, I love that. That would be fun to color too. So if I put this on the washi tape, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Thanks, Barbara. But that either one of these Asian ladies is going to be perfect for the last falling thing, right? All right, what the heck? Calligraphy. So if the Japan idea is in chat, pagoda. Thank you, Dee Dee. Koi fish, temples, kimono, sushi. Raul said Nintendo and calligraphy. I know, Dee Dee, that's perfect. You guys are so good about generating ideas. Temples is a great idea. Koi fish. Now, I probably don't have a stamp of a koi fish. I can't think where I would even put fish. Would I put it in animals, or where would I put that? But a koi fish would be awesome too. But these ladies' faces are especially intriguing to me. And I like the lanterns too, because if I stamped those out and colored them and cut them out, I could glue them on really easily. I'm going to leave these three out. That's kind of where I'm leaning. And this well, I like the writing too. This writing down here on these little tiny stamps, I'm almost afraid to use it because I don't know what it means. I mean, it could be saying all the dirty words, because if I was a stamp producer and I thought I could get a buy with it, I probably would do that. I'd probably just generate a bunch of stamps with all the dirty words and then laugh that, these people don't know what it says. You know, because that's how immature and retarded I am. Just saying. Just saying. All right. Let me go put my drawer back. But those ladies are very, very intriguing, and I'm just wondering now if I did it on the washi sticker paper, which I have more of coming tomorrow. Or if I'd want to do it more opaque. But see, then I have to fussy cut really carefully. But let's see, on a 2.5 by 3.5 inch card. Look at, she's perfect size. I am, Raul. So even if I just did on this background, and of course the orientation is going to change, but if I just did like just the lady and the prosperity, that would be awesome, right? Why not? And this one, if I wanted to just make her like the centerpiece and let the other stuff be in the background, I could use the gold ink as a border. That would be awesome. Or, because Dee Dee and I are so damn agreeable, I could do some of each. Duh. I really love this one. Okay, so now you can kind of see how I'm going to go ahead and finish these out. I'll use some of my mother's cool stuff here. Yeah, this will definitely be one set of my cards. I'm pretty certain. And then I know what the other set of my cards is going to be. So let's go ahead and dry this and cut it out. And I've got time, I think, to maybe get one of the ladies colored. This would definitely be better if I could let it dry completely, but I'm not going to worry about it. That folded back up on itself. I will definitely have to get that fixed. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, awesome. All right, just another minute. Okie dokie. Trim the excess off. Oh, come on. I might need a new blade in my X-Acto. What do you think? Starting to look that way, kind of like my finger daubers, Joanne. Need some new blades around here. I only have a pack of 100 that I ordered. I don't know why I feel like I need to put gold on this one. I don't know if it's too damp, if I should cut it manually or if I should put it in that cutter. You know what? I'm going to cut it manually. All right, bear with me here a minute. Bear with me. Okay, remember 2 strips of 2.5. My hands are disgusting. And then you have 3.5 inch left. So go 3.5, 7, 10.5, 3.5, 7, 10.5, and then 2.5, 5, 7.5, 10.5. Is that right? 2.5, 5, 7. Yeah. Am I thinking right? Or do I have streamer brain? I did 10.5 and I need to do 10. There we go. That's better. That's better. When ATCs are sent, will you be measuring each one for size, authenticity? Asking for a friend. Barbara, I probably will not, but I will come on stream and, well, no, I actually will be measuring them. And then I will be coming on stream and making fun of anybody who hasn't done it absolutely correctly. And something is telling me I've got something wrong here, but I don't, so it's okay. All right, just checking, just checking. Okay, and that's hasn't moved yet. So I'm going to take my T-square. Why won't it come out? What the heck, T-square? I just dropped it. I only have to do it one way, this way. Okay, hang on here. Look at my fingernails. Oh my God. Girl, you're disgusting. Okay, I'm going to try. Yeah, they do have to fit in the pocket, so, you know, they have to be somewhat accurate. I will say that. I mean, if they're a little bit off, I'll only make fun of you a little bit, not a whole lot. Just saying. Okay, that's the excess. And then this is the 3.5 inch way. And mine will be off a little bit, not a huge amount, but probably a little bit, because if you're hand cutting it, it can't ever be perfect. Even with a guillotine or a Fiskars cutter, you're going to be a fraction off, but we're not going to ridicule you for that unless I just feel like it. Dee Dee, I am an X-Acto expert, girl. I worry about your fingers in that guillotine, man. Look at that one. That one ended up with a lot of the Asian writing on it, which is fine too. I don't mind that a bit. But see how they each come out with their own little piece of something unique. That's the beauty of doing like all the sheets. Each one's different, but kind of the same. Yeah, no, I'm an expert X-Acto person. If you ever work in a newspaper office or doing page layout, you get really good at X-Actos, measuring, correcting. Yeah, you get really, really good at it. Now watch me cut my thumb off. Ooh, that one's pretty. Look at. So go through your stash, you know, maybe even before you make up your mind. Something in your stash may inspire you, because I hadn't thought of doing Asian until I saw this napkin. And I thought, oh, that cherry blossom is perfect for Asia. All right, there we go. Let's look at them because they look so pretty. I like that one. See this one. I kind of feel like it needs to go that way because the branch is heading upwards. But I want to do it that way because if I use the lady on this, I would want her to be looking down, you know? Oh, you do? You have images? Cool, Joanne. That's awesome. And this one, see, this one I'm not particularly crazy about because that ended up right in the middle of the ATC. But I'll put other stuff around it to distract from that. But that's, of all of them so far, that is a design element that is a little bit uncomfortable for me. This one's perfect. You know, these two down in the corner working together. And then this girl maybe over here looking down at something. So that's the beauty of doing these random things. Look at that one. The spacing on this one is pretty perfect because the cherry blossom is, it looks like I planned that to be centered. And I didn't. It just happened. Yeah. And this one doesn't have much of the cherry blossom, but I think if I work this way on it and have other elements, it'll be fine. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the results of those. I'm not going to have time to stamp that stuff, but let's just, for the heck of it right now, since I've got it out, ink the edges. Hang on just a second. Okay. Helping Robert find something. Now I wish I had the little Asian lady stamped and trimmed out so I could see. Now what would be really cool, how could I do this? I don't necessarily like putting my stamps in paint or ink, but let's just try something real quick. Because I think gold would look totally awesome on this. I've got this little piece of leftover. We're going to experiment on it. Joanne, I'm going to throw this dauber away, okay? As soon as I finish this, it's going in the garbage. I don't know that it has much life left in it. And those things are going to end up everywhere. And with 15 minutes left, I'm going to create another mess because I don't have near enough mess out here to clean up already. But let's see. And since I'm almost done, I can take it over and wash it right away. Where's that baby wipe? Clean that mess up right now. Because that'll end up on my clothes. It'll end up everywhere. Another thing that I could use is those fans that I got out. Let me try this. Oh, I don't have a paintbrush here. Let me get one out. I swear, I use these little nail brushes that we bought for everything because I always think, oh, I don't care if I wreck them. These things will live through anything. I swear to God, they're the most versatile, useful little things I've ever had. Okay. Where was that piece I was going to mess with? Let's go for longevity. I don't know if this is going to work. I've never done it. Right now, it's going to be a big mess. All right, I'm going to do it on the back first. This ink is obviously not meant to be used as a stamp pad, but I don't have a gold stamp pad. You know what I do have, though? I haven't used it in forever. Is that wouldn't be horrible. You know what I could use, though, rather than the ink? I just love this ink, and I could do the edges with the ink, but I do have some gold embossing powder that I could use. But it's not that bright, awesome gold like this ink is. But I don't want a big black blob there either, you know, or a big gold blob there. And the reason I'm blowing on it is because if there are any indents, I can blow the ink so I only get the image. All right, let's try this right here. Yeah, that looks like a blob. All right, I'm going to think about that. But wouldn't that look cool if I can get the gold on there? Yeah, I'm thinking there's got to be a way. Gotta be a way. Let me get this. And this ink is water soluble, so I can clean it up very, very easily with water. So if it wasn't, I would have thought twice before I did that. But I am going to give that some thought. I'll wash that here in a minute. I guess I could do the embossing powder. I'm not crazy about it, but that would be awesome. Let me see. See, this is what I sit here and do. I just experiment. Look at, I got gold on that brown ink pad now, which is fine. You know what? I'm afraid I'm going to have to do it black for it to show up. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do it black to have it show up. Or glass pen. Glass pen isn't going to work either. I mean, you know what I could do? Okay, Brenda. I could stamp it in black. Let me get the black pen out, or pad out, because I don't have out near enough stuff yet. Definitely need more stuff. Now I could take the dip pen or a glass pen and go over that. Brenda, I think you just solved my problem. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, girly. Yeah, because otherwise I'm going to have to do it in the black. And for the longevity, I'm going to have to do that anyway because that type is so darn small, I can't write over it. I will experiment some more. Roll ink on a jelly plate and use like a stamp pad. I know I could do that, Kathy. You're asking a lot of a girl, man. But yeah, I think I'll do that. And then I'll stamp her out and her out and color them and then cut them out and position them. I'm kind of inclined to go with this one, and I'm going to tell you why. Because to fussy cut this out after I color it is just cut. I could do that. So this is the easiest one to fussy cut. But I don't know. Maybe I'll use some of each. All right. Anyway, I'm glad I thought of this stuff, you guys. This will definitely probably be one of mine in the swap. And then the other one that I didn't get around to, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, is the green one. But let's just, while we're here. These scissors are so dirty. They've got cotton stuck to them. I'm going to have to clean them pronto. And this one, I'm going to fussy cut it, but I'm going to leave a little bit of the blue border because there's no way I could fussy cut this perfectly. So I'll make it look like I meant to do it, which I did. Just seeing which elements on here I really like and I want to include. Now these are sticky too. I guess I'll be cleaning scissors while I'm cleaning up today. When stuff is sticking to them, you know it's time for a good cleaning. All right, here's, I would want that hanging down like that so I could just trim it off the, okay, on these that maybe don't have so much of the cherry blossom on them, I can go ahead and include the fan. I like that. If I do, my scissors are dirty, Dee Dee. I cut tape with them over the weekend. And some of the little sticky goo stayed right on there. They are dirty. The Tim Holtz ones aren't, but this and the Muji pair are. Nobody else has Muji scissors, do they? All right. If I'm careful, I'll have plenty of fans. Out of that sheet. And I'm putting this up against the edge of the paper because there's a flat edge there. I don't want it necessarily. I wouldn't use this on this one because of the red, but I could use it definitely. Put it behind the lady or something. So yeah, I think I will cut out and use some of those blue fans. No, Robert didn't use them. Robert knows better than to mess with the stuff on my desk. He doesn't even look like he wants to use it. What the heck is going on out there? Sounds like my mowing guy is here, and he just got done mowing Wednesday. Oh, no, it's the people across the field. Okay, never mind. All right, you guys, I am about done here. My brother is probably on his way. I told him don't get here before 3. So anyway, congratulations, Sheila, on your Scavvy win. I hope you guys seriously consider playing with us for the ATC swap. If you have any questions, check out either my post page or Dee Dee's, and all the information should be there. If you need my address to participate or get my address where to mail them, let me put it back in chat one more time. Oh my God, I gotta unload this keyboard. Here's all my stuff that I had sitting here. Here's my email one last time, so you can write to get my email or my mailing address. Don't forget the period after the M. Yeah, so I truly appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know your time's valuable. Seriously, consider playing with us. We'll like it. All right, you guys, go try and be kind. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.